Greetings! It is I, Director of Arketer Labs, looking particularly foreheady. Why? Because I've upgraded my lighting to a degree, or upgraded. Look, I like it better. Don't need to go into the details, but I consider it an upgrade across the boards. Pardon, I'm awfully tired today, as is everyone, really. It seems to be this is a day of exhaustion for just about everyone involved. As such, it's just me, there's no one else in this call whatsoever. And that's how it's going to remain. Probably. Or not, I don't know. Any case, well, Roman is hosting a call. He just doesn't say anything side. Yay! Which is all the feedback we typically expect of him these days. Greetings in chat to Beaver, Bishop, Plague Doctors, Zach. You should see a doctor about that. K. Shaw, glad to see you. Bernie B. Haven was here, but they're gone now. Green Badger Outdoors, good, relevant time of day to you as well. Monkey King Metals, glad you could drop by. You now have a wrench. Please don't use it for anything except smashing the occasional Russian bot, which hasn't happened in a while. I suppose they've done a pretty good job of purging them in recent months. Part of the whole ongoing war against the entire country, I presume. Greetings, Brain Shatter. And I think that about brings us up to speed. Notably, if you've only been watching my streams for the sake of winning games, then... Oh, by the way, greetings, Exodus. No, you didn't miss it. I think I forgot to mention you. The last of the keys I've provided by Exodus will be raffled off this stream. The last one. The final key. The final piece. The game, the Blackout Club. And if you're like me, you'll be very disappointed to hear it has absolutely nothing to do with alcohol or drinking in the slightest. Nothing to do with it. It also has nothing to do with Final Blackout, Franz, or any artists anyway connected to Gulf City. So, just brace yourself. Greetings, the British are coming. Congratulations on your stream. I'm glad it went, hopefully it went well. Sorry I couldn't really attend in the capacity. I must remind you, though, that it's only possible to promote on general if you're me or if I'm on your stream. Otherwise, I have to leave it. Just kidding. Otherwise, feel free to always promote your own content, all of you, in non-sexual plugging. You can plug yourselves there, as far as we can tell, non-sexually, freely. You seem to be blocking yourself with meds. Yeah, some of these there. Greetings in chat, Orla, Seraph. Let's see. Suppose we got a fair bit of viewers already. At least there's that. 14 viewers, 8 likes. So just over half of you are having a good time. I'm glad to read that. It could be could be worse. Let's play the trailer for the game we'll be raffling off. Again, the final game for now.
Okay, here's the plan. Jenny, you'll need to lure the sleepers away from the house. Use a noisemaker or something. Then lay down some foam to hide the sound of your footsteps while you escape. Tink, we'll need you to open the front door so we can get in.
Okay. Me!
Polly, you'll need to go first into the tunnel and take out any adults that might be a problem.
Roger that.
Then I'll come in and free the other kids. After that, we'll all meet back here. Okay? I hope you were pleased. They were my friends.
Nothing to do whatsoever with drinking at all. Greetings, if I haven't already said talking junkie, and yes, I am caffeine deficient. I didn't have time to make coffee, and I'm totally out of energy drinks in general, so it is what it is. If you would like to enter the raffle for the Blackout Club, please do let me know in the chat. Ideally now, but if not now, then at some point before the stream is over. I just found that trailer a bit funny. Tink. 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 And they'll blindly follow some masked idiot. I feel there's some commentary here that they didn't intend to make, but is quite valid. I could be wrong there. Could be wrong. Again, if you would like this game, just let me know. We're all here to find a good home for games. And you know, since people watch me discuss really awful articles, just terrible, terrible news. That at least is easy not to take very seriously. Unlike the rest of the terrible, awful, just horrid news. Greetings! Spectre pound 799. Good to see you too. Hope you're all well. Alright, let's get into this. I have a few entries myself, starting with my boyfriend's cancer battle with ruining mental health, so I left him. Now I'm running a marathon in his honor. Daniel Epstein, 32 of London, said she felt awful for leaving Yale prison, 37. He writes frugal. Greetings, Sparky.
Greetings. I came in when you were reading that title, and I was like, the fuck?
Yeah, this is a good one. Next enter into the raffle for the Blackout Club. Hey, Sparky, you're perfectly game to enter the raffle for the Blackout Club as well. Are you familiar with the game?
Sure. Maybe my luck will be better this time. Who knows?
Okay. Did you see the trailer for it? Should I play it again? Well, you wouldn't be able to hear it now that you're in the car.
No, I was watching while I was getting set up to come in.
Oh, okay then. Well then, that's 2 entries for the raffle. What is wrong with you, Brain Shatter? I'm the nice one! Arcturus is a vile... Pardon? I think I've been under a bit of stress lately, and that was uncalled for on my end. Daniel Epstein, 13 of London, said she felt awful for leaving Joe Fresson, 37. This, if you're already on a short temper like myself, will not help your mood. A woman running the London Marathon for her ex-boyfriend has admitted she left him because she couldn't cope with his cancer battle.
Oh, it's this story.
Yep. Daniel Epstein, 32, was buying a house with Jelly Fresden in London last year when he was diagnosed with a rare form of brain tumor at just 37. He needed complex operation, radiotherapy, and chemotherapy, and had learned to walk again. While this was going on, physics teacher Danielle began having panic attacks and her mental health plummeted, so she ended their relationship.
Yeah, this is one I wasn't signing up for. You became a little bit too much of a hassle, so yeah, I'm just gonna move on.
Look, I thought it was going to be fine, but then you had to go and get cancer. Ew. She moved to Thailand, but remained friends with Jelly, who is aptly named, because, well, this is really quite tragic and unpleasant at the same time. For fuck's sake, man, grow a spine. And is now running a marathon for a brain tumor charity. Yes, yes. She couldn't hack the stress of it, but now she wants applause for doing what she wanted to do anyway. But, you know, vaguely in support of a charity that might in some way support the guy she ditched for having a bad time.
Did he survive or did he end up passing?
Oh, we're going to find out. It's really quite extraordinary.
Because I can see this two ways. If he ended up passing, this is just her trying to remedy her own guilt. If he hadn't passed and he's surviving and still alive, that's just a fucking slap in the face.
I'm thinking in this case, the answer is both. Both. Meanwhile, I'm offended octane junkie. Lab coats are timeless. My fashion sense is impeccable. Arcturus looks like he shops at a garage sale at medieval times. Moving on. She said she was still figuring out her friendship with Jelly, adding, I felt like an awful person needing somebody to get that cancer, but it was damaging my mental health and it wasn't helping Jelly. Look at this prize. Gentlemen, she's ostensibly single. No?
Nah. I'm taking.
What is it with these Epsteins anyway? Moving on. The couple were buying a house in Palmer's Green, North London, when Jelly, who works as a Google software engineer, began vomiting having dizzy spells. If you weren't aware, this is Jelly. What a nice guy. After numerous consultations with GPs and ineffective treatments for an ear infection, the vomiting became much worse. Jelly went to a private MRI scan using his health insurance with Google. Doctors found a grade 4 medulloblastoma tumor, normally a cancer that affects children, and he was booked for surgery in September. Daniel said, we were on a certain path for a certain future, and within one day we knew it wasn't going to work out like that anymore. Or rather, she did. I think this might have come as a bit more of a surprise still for him. After one day. I was so worried and devastated. I couldn't sleep or eat. I was having panic attacks. I was on so much medication to sort myself out. I just couldn't function. I just could. Realizing they had to split up, or rather, she did. She moved to Thailand with her father. But she stayed friends with Jelly and kept up to date with his recovery. Following his operation, Jelly had nerve damage that paralyzed the right side of his face, leading to a squint that causes double vision. He also can't fully close his eye and must use eye drops and ointments. Explaining her decision to run London Marathon in his name for brain tumor research, she said, I felt so helpless watching it all unfold, so I knew I had to do something.
Do we know how he feels?
They don't seem to have actually directly spoken to Jelly here, but we'll get back to him in just a moment. We have penalty pictures of him, though. Here's him with paralysis. Here's him bald. Here's him with a massive scar on the back of his neck and head. I'm not a runner, but Jelly's done marathons before, so I thought it would be a challenge for me and a nice tribute to him. It felt like something to aim towards. I won't be fast, but I'm determined to get around. Training has been tough physically and mentally. I just keep it going when you're so bored. It's challenging. But I have the best motivation. If Jelly can go through all this, then I can run a marathon. She added the money was needed to help brain cancer research. I'm wondering, is she helping with his bills at all? Suffice to say, while I'm not... I would like to hear from Jelly. Oh, well, hold on. Here we go. We're just going to skip past this narcissistic blather and self-aggrandizement to get to Jelly, who, quote-unquote, from the article, supports his ex-girlfriend's attempt to help a charity that might have some relevance to what he went through. And he said, quote-unquote, I will be there on the day to cheer Danielle on. I think it's credible what she's doing. When she said she was going to do a marathon, I must admit I had my doubts. I think she only did about 5 kilometers when we were together, and that was with a lot of complaining. I've got so much respect for her discipline and perseverance. Sometimes there's no real good side. It's just have to kind of go, what's wrong with all of you? We're still figuring out things and finding out ways to continue our relationship as friends. Our whole lives came up from under us. You, specifically. Her life seems to have gone on pretty well. Jelly, you got fed under a bus and you're clapping. Carol Robinson, National Events Manager for Brain Tumor Research, said, "We're so sorry to hear about Jelly's diagnosis. While his tumor type is rare, brain cancer is not, with 1 in 3 people knowing somebody affected. We're very grateful to Danielle for taking on this huge challenge to help raise funds for our cause. Our marathon runners support every step of the way. We look forward to cheering her across the finish line." And of course, the Daily Fail celebrates this rather tedious person. Twitter, of course, has, where I got this from, come out and just kind of oozed lots of people from the woodwork to note that she did nothing wrong, and it's okay because Jelly's okay with this. And he's very supportive. What a good guy. One thing we all agree on right now, though, Jelly dodged a bullet. It could be worse. It could be worse. He could be back in a relationship with her.
Yeah, maybe he said the stuff just to keep her from getting, lambasted, which is what actually should be done, as her being lambasted.
He worked for Google. I suppose he knows better than to dare question the wisdom of being thus abandoned in his time of need.
Yeah, true. But he dodged a bullet.
Oh, and we're over 13 likes. Thank you all for making this stream
nice.
a success on this merit. Why, it was quite swiftly achieved too. Very sincerely appreciated. Yeah, that. So basically, this story is entirely man gets brain cancer, woman most affected. And now we're supposed to applaud because she's using this as an excuse for something she wanted to do anyway. That says she can be, lauded for her strength and perseverance, even though she's demonstrated neither of those qualities.
Maybe the tumor wasn't in his brain.
Maybe it was her.
I personally find her a bit cancerous. Well, look, either way, we can't really we don't have the studies available to us to determine, but after they divorced and separated, his cancer did go away, so... Look, I just know that if I saw her on a dating app and knew this, I wouldn't take that risk.
Yeah.
People
you have enough cancer around you, don't you?
Indeed.
I mean, look who he invites on the show.
Yeah.
Drummond, did you see the game being raffled off? Would you want the Blackout Club?
I after you got blackout drunk.
Yeah, it has absolutely nothing to do with alcohol. I'm still very disappointed by that. Bernie B is into the raffle, which means that I should probably actually get some paper to write this down and keep track of it. But just
Don't worry about me, sport. I'll make fun of your giblets no matter what happens.
You just do that while I fetch necessary. Clipboard.
Well, while he's finding a clipboard, who got blackout drunk?
Art got blackout drunk.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah.
I didn't get blackout. I haven't been blackout drunk in a very... Hold
I
on.
didn't...
What is this slander?
Whoosh. I think you just got
speaking
the
of
joke.
which, I mean,
Not
I
happy
got
with
this stuff,
which
so.
is understandable. It was a bad joke. It was an inappropriate joke.
Okay, who do we have in the raffle? If I'm not mistaken, we've got... Oh, by the way, greetings. Kefki, greetings. Devil Pup. Thanks, Patty. And yes, I'm pretty sure she was the cancer. Look, either case is she's still cancer regardless. We have Nexus Hunter in the raffle, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what else is? You know what else is cancer?
I have a few things I think might be applicable candidates.
These nuts.
You should see a doctor about that.
You know,
It's not necessarily that it is cancer. I know people who've had their testicles swell up to tremendous sizes and it hasn't been cancer at all. So it could just be something else. Like,
oof.
I shouldn't have said that.
Don't worry. I'm sure when it comes to people's balls, they just roll with it.
You know, if it was him that broke up with her to save her, like, you know, the pain and stuff like that,
noble.
that would be real notable. I've known people to do that, but the other way around just seems very, very selfish.
Yep, and strictly speaking, with a person who both is named Jelly and demonstrates the qualities of it, I'm pretty sure if someone had sent him the idea to do so, he would have.
But given the discussion, do you think he would be more testy?
Oh God. Oh boy, Foreman.
Okay, for the raffle of the game, we have Nexus Hunter, Sparky, and Bernie B. The game will be determined the winner of by a raffle via random.org as per usual. Why don't you have a wrench, Kefka? I'm pretty sure you've been here long enough that I would have given you one already. If I took it away from you for some reason, then congratulations, you have wrench back. Please don't use it for anything. Maybe I was afraid that I defended you by besmirching ferrets in some way. I'm not entirely sure. Go on.
What are you printing, Foreman?
I'm currently printing a stand for a 3D chessboard.
Oh,
as in like
nice.
the Star Trek 3D chessboard.
Oh, nice. You gotta show me a picture of that when that's done.
Will do. I think I have a picture on my phone. I'll get that set up for you shortly. Well, there is 5D chess on Steam with multiverse and time travel.
That just sounds exhausting.
It is labeled as a psychological horror game.
Blood Brigade Battalion comes to mind. Any case, moving on with anything else. This one kind of caught my attention and stuck with me. Doomsday Mom, Lori Vallow required recruits to be separated from the kids to join cult. First off, joining cult in the modern era is alarmingly common, but it's kind of bizarre to see it outside of a political sphere. That said, what a stupid cult. Doomsday Mom, Lori Vallow, Daybell, to potential recruits, they would need to be separated from the kids in order to join her cult-like group. Only cult-like. They don't call it the actual cult. They say it's just cult-like. I guess the NY Post doesn't want to be too mean to the child-murdering scum. Vallow Daybell standing trial in an Idaho court after charges she killed her two kids.
Of course, it's Ohio.
Idaho. Sorry.
I was gonna say, is this the same Lloyd Daybell in the murder case?
Vallow Daybell is standing trial in an Idaho court on charges she killed two of her kids. Apparently, only two of them. Was it? She spare some others. 16-year-old daughter Tylee Ryan and 7-year-old son JJ Vallow, with her newest husband Chad Daybell.
So wait, where was it again?
Idaho.
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 They're also both accused in the death of Daybell's previous wife, Tammy. The jury heard Wednesday from Valo Daybell's ex-pal, April Raymond, whom she met through her church in Hawaii in 2016. According to an insider report, the pair kept in touch and reunited in 2019, but Valo Daybell had changed drastically, she testified. Gone with the typical religious beliefs Raymond said she and Valo Daybell shared. Instead, the now accused killer touted beliefs about how she was a goddess and her rivals were zombies. According to the report from inside the courtroom, Valo Daybell visited Raymond in February 2019 and tried to recruit her to join her new interpretation of the Christian religion. She had come to gather me, Raymond told the court. She said I had fulfilled my role in their lives and I had a greater mission to fulfill with her. But the mission came with a radical caveat, she said. I would need to be separated from my children, Raymond testified. Prosecutors alleged Lori and Chad Daybell espoused beliefs about zombies and said they were called upon by God to shepherd the 144,000 followers into the end of the world and the second coming of Christ. Valo Daybell allegedly believed people either represented light or dark, the latter of which were those who had signed contracts with the devil. According to their alleged beliefs, the only way for some people to lose their dark spiritual attachments was through spiritual castings or their deaths.
Okay.
How many idiots could possibly? It's just, well, in case.
So how many people like your stream right now? Because I'll give you an exact number.
I'm told it's up to 19 likes. Confetti has already been launched, and
20.
Indeed.
So you got at least 20 people who are dumb enough to do something like this.
Froman, no, I will not stand for this. You may slander me as you see fit. I will not slander my audience. They would never do something as stupid as what these much wealthier, more socially successful people have done. Greetings, by the way, Ben Odinson, and anyone else who snuck in when I wasn't looking, like Carlos Fish. Serious question for all humans, how long until you will initiate the purge? If you haven't been paying attention, Carlos Fish, the purge is already underway. It's very injectable. In any case, Tyler and JJ's remains was covered in shallow graves in the backyard of Chad Daybell's Rexburg, Idaho home. JJ's body was found buried under the tree, while Tyler's charred remains were located in an area the family called a quote-unquote pet cemetery. Valo Daybell is being tried separately from her now husband Daybell, who is facing similar charges. Yeah, these people are just scum. In addition to Tyler and JJ's murders, prosecutors have linked the couple to the October 2019 death of Daybell's former wife, Tammy Daybell, 49. The couple then collected Social Security benefits and life insurance money related to the 3 deaths, prosecutors said. Earlier this week, a panel of 10 males and 8 female jurors held testimony from several law enforcement officials. Most details from Valo Daybell's adult son, Colby Ryan. They were then shown body camera footage from November 26, 2019, when police in Rexburg were investigating JJ's whereabouts. The police were asking around about the 7-year-old after his grandmother, Kay Woodcock, requested a welfare check. Valo Daybell can be heard in the footage complaining about threats from her brother and late husband. Okay. Valo Daybell can be heard complaining about threats from her brother and her late husband, Charles Valo. Complaining about threats from her brother and her late husband, Charles Valo? That's a very troubling sentence, which would imply that her late husband was also her brother, and I wouldn't...
Look, it's all about keeping it in the family.
She tells me her son is with her friend Melanie Given. Arizona refers to Chad Daybell as her brother's friend. Wow. It just gets worse and worse. That's Lori Valo, and that's Chad.
He doesn't look like a Chad.
No. With a chin that weak. That's no Chad. That's one of those ironic names.
That's a Chud.
Yeah.
I mean, Chad's also kind of an ironic name at this point.
You know, in my experience, when someone has a name, they tend to either embody the name very well, or they embody the absolute inverse of that name. I don't know why this is. I'm assuming there's some great study that can be done to find this out.
Does that make you Arketer?
No. No, it does not. Actually, now they mentioned, I'm not sure there is any sort of meaning to embody or not embody in the name Arketer, for the record. As far as I'm aware, it's not one of those names that has a meaning in the classic sense. It's basically defined by me. I take that very seriously. In any case, she then gripes about Woodcock and how she feels like she's being tracked all the time. Val Dable is charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy, and grand theft, and also been indicted in the Arizona death of her estranged husband, Charles Vallow. Wow, these guys just whacked everyone, didn't they? They killed their exes and a brother and I'm really wanting to know how much branching was involved in these family trees.
And it sounds like it'd be better off to have the Addams family as your family.
Extraordinary. Defense attorneys have appeared to try and pin the blame for Charles' death on Dable or Vala Dable's brother Alex Cox, who has since died. Oh. So they're trying to pin a death on a death, and I want to know how they died, because, man, who weren't these two jackasses killing? Vala Dable was arrested in May 2021 and has spent 9 months in mental hospital, where she was deemed fit for trial in April 2022. The trials in the second week expect to last several more. Dable will be tried separately at a later date. Wow. That's one of the more interesting trials that could possibly be watched. Although I'm kind of afraid they'd get off, because I have very little respect for the legal system these days. We're just gonna move on. Hot beef explosion! 18,000 cows killed in explosion fire at Texas dairy farm. It may be the largest cattle killing ever. 3% of Texas milk supply apparently was wiped out in one giant ball of as I understand it, ignited manure. At least that's what they say.
That sounds like a clever tactic to harvest meat from Minecraft.
Absolutely.
It would have been much better off had it been in Minecraft. Corrections and clarification. Brief search of the story miscalculated the number of head of cattle slaughtered each year in the U.S. Quote unquote, the fire spread quickly through the holding pens where thousands of dairy cows crowded together waiting to be milked, trapped in deadly confines. After subduing the fire at West Texas Dairy Farm Monday evening, officials were stunned at the scale of the livestock death left behind. 18,000 head of cattle perished in the fire at the South Fork Dairy Farm near Dimmitt, Texas, or about 20% of the cattle slaughtered in America on any given day.
So the milk farm just became an all-you-can-eat buffet of steak.
Well, it would have been. I think it's pretty much rotten by now. I don't think they simply had enough people on hand to consume all that roast beef. Plus, it's clearly overdone. I've learned very acutely recently that we really do overcook our steaks in general. If the meat is fresh, it's really not necessary. Just show it to the flame. This is a bit of a side note, but it's the first time I ever tried a rare hamburger steak. Damn, it was good. So good.
I'm more of like a medium rare person.
Yeah, I used to be the kind of person who would go for very well, then medium, and be very neurotic about any sort of pink in it. I was wrong. I have burned so much meat for no good reason. And when I look back on it now, I just kind of want to cry.
That's what she said. I don't know.
You know, I'm
She
not
specifically
necessarily
has the
wrong.
clap.
Unrelated to this, but I don't think you're necessarily wrong. A dairy farm worker rescued from inside the structure was taken to hospital and was in critical but stable condition as of Tuesday. There were no other human casualties. Quote unquote, it's mind-boggling, Dimmitt Mayor Roger Malone said. I don't think it's ever happened before around here. It's a real tragedy. It was the biggest single incident death of cattle in the country since the Animal Welfare Institute, a Washington-based animal advocacy group, began tracking barn and farm fires in 2013. How many cows died in the dairy fire? 18,000, or enough for 26 football fields. One doesn't usually expect dairy farms to be a big, ball of fire explosion threat, do they? It's kind of weird.
I mean, I would assume it's possible. You just need the right stoichiometric ratio of methane to air.
Cows have been known to spontaneously explode.
I'm a little bothered by this because that's what Arketer was doing to get rid of the royal family, just making cows explode and flame. And I didn't somehow wish this into being, did I?
There are too many jokes I could make.
This easily surpassed the previous high, a 2020 fire in upstate New York dairy farm that consumed about 400 cows, said Allie Granger, a policy associate at the Institute. The Texas fire is the quote-unquote deadliest fire involving character we know of, she said. In the past, we've seen fires involving several hundred cows at a time, but nothing anything near its level of mortality. Where was the Texas cattle fire? Castro County. Site of the fire is open prairie land dotted with dairy farms and cattle ranches about 70 miles southwest of Amarillo. Pictures posted on social media by bystanders show a large plume of black smoke lifting from the farm fire, as well as charred cows that were saved from the structure. If they were charred, were they really saved? I mean, if they're charred, I'm thinking they're going on the grill. It's just taking a bit longer than initially expected. What caused the dairy farm explosion? This is a question that the chat has had, and I certainly did. Oh, and greetings, Cadunt.
Caduntrus, what's up?
If you want to call Link Cadunt, you are one of the people who is absolutely welcome to pop in at any time. What caused the dairy farm explosion? A malfunction in a piece of farm equipment may have caused an explosion that led to the fire, said County Judge Mandy Gveller. The county's top executive, Texas fire officials are still investigating the cause, she said. Malone, the mayor, said he wasn't aware of any other fires reported at the facility. He said the dairy had opened in the area just over 3 years ago and employed 50 to 60 people. The owners of South Fork Dairy couldn't be reached for comment, and none of that properly explains what caused the dairy farm explosion. What caused the dairy farm explosion? A malfunction in a piece of farm equipment may have? That's not very helpful at all. Look, I'm going to...
No, time out. Did they have the equivalent of the Starship Tesla rocket on their farm as farm equipment?
You would think. By the way, I do find it really annoying that Elon Musk is getting grief for that thing blowing up, which is terribly unfortunate, but that's why you run these tests, so you don't do that with people who will be missed.
Yeah, I've heard a couple different things, but yeah, before the thing launched, they realized they had a problem, and it was going to blow up. So they had two choices: launch it, get as high up as they could, or away, or leave it on the pad next to fuel in the building.
That's such a bizarre situation. I'm inclined to suspect sabotage. And if that's the case, I'd be very disappointed because I don't care if Elon Musk only wants to take his buddies to Mars. That's humanity off this planet.
Yeah.
You'd think that people would want, like, the people who don't like Musk would want him off the planet, too.
I don't think he's going to go. I think basically other people, naturally bold pioneers, will be the ones attempting to live on another planet. And I want them to, because that's
So,
the whole...
if Musk showed up and, said, hey, Ark ass, bitch ass, something ass, I don't know ass, do you want to go to Mars, would you?
Well, my immediate response would be, you're not Elon Musk, and I think you're high. How did you find me?
Look, end of the day, when they were making the Saturn V rockets for the Apollo missions in NASA, they've had multiple failures, and it took them a long time to get that engine correct. The engine that's on Elon's rockets are much more powerful. Things are gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
That's why it's called a test.
I just want him to not stop. Whatever happens there, it needs to keep going. He can go to the moon that you know, and he still won't get to me. That's been covered. That's why I'm in black and white. Deep lore. We're not getting into it. That said, apparently, I guess they need to start using manure for fuel, because holy crap, this... Oh no, that was a terrible pun, and I made it without a slight bit of awareness.
Actually, they do use manure in Africa.
Yeah. Oh, manure is used for a lot of good stuff. Like, people actually use it for bricks and stuff like that, because once it dries out, you don't actually smell it even.
Yeah, lamps, stoves, ovens, stuff like that.
Well, they might as well. Maybe if this dairy farm had done the same thing, they could have exported enough, but this wouldn't have happened, because I have heard that ostensibly this massive beef explosion was caused by basically a backed up septic tank that didn't properly suck up all the manure that the 18,000 cattle were producing.
They couldn't handle all the bullshit?
Well, cow shit anyway.
Well, I mean,
there's a dairy farm. They don't typically milk males.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, I'm sure there's a ranch somewhere where they milk the bulls, but it's not a dairy. At least one hopes not.
Oh God.
That'd be a bold bit of vegan propaganda. It should be discovered to that end. Look, let's move on to something a bit lighter-hearted. Japanese Penis Festival says fake phallic mascot is making things really hard. This, of course, was curated by Roman, as you probably
Why would it be obvious that it was curated by me?
I just want to make it really hard for you, Ark.
Just a hunch.
What a dick.
Giant penis statues are paraded through the streets of Kawasaki at the festival.
Oh, God.
The organizers of the Penis Festival in Japan are throbbing with anger over an unofficial giant member mascot that people have mistaken for a genuine one.
Throbbing with anger.
Since 1969, people have gathered in Kawasaki near Tokyo for the annual Kanamura Mitsuri, also known as the Festival of the Steel Phallus.
That sounds like a movie.
It sure does.
Movie, but a movie.
Sounds like a kung fu porno. Which
Dick of the West.
Almost certainly exists.
No, I'd be Dick of the East. Excuse me.
Sorry, did Cadet want on the call? I didn't see.
She was driving.
Yes. Well, in that case,
really does...
I'm sorry, Cadet. You can't be on the stream and drive. I simply won't allow it. You must... Safety first. Just safety first. We can't have you crashing because you want to get on the live stream while driving.
But she can type in chat.
maybe it would be safer for you to be on the stream via call driving a troll. Should I? Maybe I should send.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Moving on. In recent years, the Shinto gathering has become something of a destination for cheeky tourists, or for those who honestly want to celebrate a rather X-rated legend. But one regular attendee has been drawing the wrong sort of attention for their costume, which could politely be described as excessively detailed. The grotesque outfit, which has been worn at the event for the past 8 years, depicts a version of a cuddly children's cartoon character named Gachapin. Gacha-chin, as the costumes come to be called, retains the character's doleful eyes, single tooth, and stripy chest, but has incorporated them into a spine-chillingly realistic penis complete with lifelike color and, unfortunately, texture. You can scroll down to see a picture of it, but consider this a strong warning. Festival organizers at the Kaniyama Shrine have decided to set the story straight to people on the internet who have seemed to believe that Gacha-chin is the official representative of their event.
Oh my god, it looks like a reject Teletubby.
It's like a Creeper fucked a Furpy. This is the, by the way, this is the untwisted one. This is how it's supposed to look. This is the family-friendly iteration.
That looks like something from a fucking horror movie. Bad horror movie.
Look,
this is a reject from Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, most of those were not quite as creepy. Look,
I've
seen Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Ark, whoosh.
How you defeat it? You gotta beat it off.
Willy's Wonderland. That's a completely different movie now.
Unrelatedly, I would like to say that I fully support Willy's Wonderland, which is a fantastic film, and everyone should watch it. Apparently, it's a de facto sequel to Drive Angry, and I haven't seen Drive Angry, and I really want to at some point, and follow it up with Willy's Wonderland to see if that is true. Moving on, this is Gacha-chin.
Okay, I've got to admit, that almost looks like a passable monster for a Toho Godzilla movie.
Like, it looks like, like Fallout Brahmin. It looks like one of their dicks.
I've seen scarier monsters in old school Doctor Who. We did warn you. Yeah, actually, I'm a bit insulted they warned me now. This, I find that less disturbing than this thing. Weirdly enough. I suppose it just seems more honest somehow. This is supposed to be cuddly and cute and you should let in your house. This, you know to leave the door locked on. The side dick there is, I think, the part that really is haunting. There. Look, I look at this. I don't know about you, but I just. It does look like an adult toy, actually. Yeah, it's basically got a tickler built on it to it. Notably, I look at this and I see something surround Doctor Who. I can hear theremin music in my head right now. And someone screaming as it slowly approaches them, rather than, slowly walking away at a greater speed. Well, I want to just tip my non-existent hat to the Japanese troll who did this. Well done. They said, as of March 2023, there is no official mascot character for Kanama Festival. We do not officially recognize the costume mascot called Gacha-chin, which is being treated as an official mascot on the internet in any way whatsoever. The Kanama Matsuri Festival is based on a local story about a demon taking revenge on a woman who rejected his advances. According to legend, the creature began living in the woman's vagina and would bite down hard on anything that entered in order to prevent her from having children. I'd forgotten that.
That sounds like something from Dark City. Oh, no, not Dark City. Wicked City.
It would seem that her rejections were kind of overruled if he's wound up living in her vagina. The woman hired a blacksmith to fashion a steel member which shattered the demon's teeth and thus restored her fertility. So she beat the demon with a metal dildo. A replica of metallic dildos preserved in a shrine on Kawasaki will be paraded at this year's festival on April 2nd. So, ladies, if you have a demon living in your vagina because you refused its sexual advances, you just need to get yourself a metal dildo and perform,
beat the
I guess,
stuffing out of it.
A exorcism of sorts.
Wow. You know,
repeated use for best results.
You know, I think I need a drink after that.
I wish I could join you. Also, the innocent children's character is still more disturbing to me overall. I'm sorry, this is the... That looks like a green dildo. Already. They kind of overdid it by going this far with it. They could have just pointed the head a bit. And the fact that it so closely resembles a creeper just makes it funnier. Because they both explode.
God damn it.
I'm going to play the trailer one more time, see if we have any more entries for this game. This is the Blackout Club, which has nothing to do with drinking or Fran's final blackout. I was disappointed too.
Okay, here's the plan. Jenny, you'll need to lure the sleepers away from the house. Use a noisemaker or something. Then lay down some foam to hide the sound of your footsteps while you escape. Tink, we'll need you to open the front door so we can get in.
Okay. Me!
Polly, you'll need to go first into the tunnel and take out any adults that might be a problem.
Roger that.
Then I'll come in and free the other kids. After that, we'll all meet back here. Okay? I hope you were pleased. They were my friends.
So that's the Blackout Club. Did anyone else want in on the raffle? Otherwise, we're going to get that done next before I have a chance to forget. Present entries are Nexus Hunter, Sparky, and Bernie B. What?
What were you going to forget?
To raffle off the game, possibly.
What game?
The one you haven't paid attention to hear about being raffled off. As provided by Exodus. Ben Aronson is into the raffle. We now have 4 competitors. Not that you're actually competing, strictly speaking. None of you have any control over who gets the game. I don't even have control over who gets the game. But that's just how it has to be.
Yep. Snippy says ball chin EN.
Bolchinians, yes.
Nice Men in Black 2 reference there.
I liked those films. Well, most of them. Not all the Men in Black films were that great, but some of them were really good. Some of them. Okay, well, let's wrap off the game next. Numbers will be rolled from 1 to 100. This will be determined by random.org, meaning that the chooser of the winner of the game is, in fact, cosmic background noise, which means you can't blame me or whinge about it. Well, we can whinge about it, I suppose, but cosmic background noise doesn't care, and neither do I. The first number rolled for Nexus Hunter is 34, which is not the best number, but it could win. You never really know. Next up, we have 95 for Sparky. That's going to be hard to beat. You were saying something about wanting better luck?
Yeah.
Bernie B's next number is 53, which, sympathies. Also to Nexus Hunter. Ben Nernson, this number's for you. And it's 21. Congratulations, Sparky.
Looks like I got a new game stream.
Excellent. Thank you again to Exodus for providing these keys. This is the last game that I had a key for. So if you were watching my stream just because you wanted free games, you don't have to watch anymore. It's over. You can go. I'll understand.
And with that, Arketer's viewership drops down to 0.
Nah, I've only lost 4 people. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. We have 3 minutes left. That's not enough time to really get into another article, so I suppose it's promotion time. Sparky, I understand you have your channel. I'll put the link in chat if you wish. I don't have anything prepared for you.
I can get it. It's easy enough. Just at Sparky's Tech on YouTube. That is my at. It's so nice that YouTube's incorporated ads. It's made it so much easier. But yeah, it's the same on my Twitter as well.
Incorporating ads is nice, although I don't want to be at Haley Arketer. That was a tremendous mistake on my part. In any case,
yeah, what's
British
your real name?
Cubbing, if you're still in there, you can promote your stuff. Now's a good time. I strictly speak, don't want anyone promoting the streams of my general channel on the Discord server. Once again, that said, you're always welcome to promote your content in non-sexual plugging. However, if I'm on your stream, by chance, then I would promote that in general myself, because the only streams that get promoted on my general channel in my Discord server are the ones that I'm on. Why? Because it's my little fiefdom, and I feel comfortable being a little bit of a tyrant there, so... Yeah.
Well, you don't do much there.
I was gonna say I got a bot showing you stuff in my Discord, so
Sympathies. It's not K70, is it? Oh, no, Exodus. That was entirely tongue-in-cheek. I'm mostly here to find games good homes. And thank you again for the keys. Don't take me so seriously. Why is it that people don't take the things I want taken seriously, but then take everything else I don't want taken seriously super seriously? There's no consistency. You're all defective.
I was gonna
say,
not me.
It's the net. It's you all.
Everyone's defective.
I suppose continuing. I'm trying to get at least one of my streams on Rumble because I think that might very well be the future of streaming. Or I just hope something else might be, because we do need sort of a new frontier. The old one's getting mighty civilized in the worst way. Next week's schedule expected to be...
ever since Musk took over.
Yeah, which I would like to stress, I'm not very happy with Musk in a lot of ways. I don't think he has made Twitter the bastion of free speech one might have hoped, but I do remember the old days, and they weren't better.
You know, have you seen the new policy changes for terms of service on harassment?
I haven't. Do I want to?
They've actually added on the you cannot harass someone for the blue check mark status it's considered harassment now in the TOS. I wish I could say I was joking.
Okay. Well, shit.
I mean, I get why.
There's only one more thing that would make it worse that has been predicted. That they'll add another non-check mark that will serve the same role as the old legacy check marks. And start doling that out to the ungrateful garbage people who have lorded over the others with their useless badge of social significance that they're whinging about and having to pay for now. I swear, regarding the whole checkmark scenario, I saw so many legacy going, oh, I have to pay a small measure of my tremendous wealth to get a checkmark. Now, that's bullshit. They're not mad about that. They're mad that you, random person at home, could get the same mark for the same price. The club has been broken. Now they're just letting anyone in. And I think the real missed point here is that this is the Sneetches. This is the Dr. Seuss story. These are the check marks on the Twitterers instead of the Sneetches on the beaches. If Elon really wanted to make big money, he would have sold a service to remove the check marks. Like you pay for the service, you get a check mark. But you keep it unless you pay him to remove it. And I swear he would have made Sylvester McMonkey McBean money like that.
Yeah. Hey, I got a check mark. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, yeah, I do. And it's just a battle back and forth. Jesus Christ.
People buying and then paying to get rid of the check marks, and he would have just been rolling in cash. He would have funded a bridge to Mars with that. That is enough fun. I need to go sulk in a dark corner for a few hours.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Exodus.
See, I'm just curious, where did Sylvester McMonkey McBean, or in the tales of Sneetches on Beaches, where did the Sneetches get their money?
That's a very good question, but apparently they had enough to blow it on the Star On and Star Off machines. And there's no mystery on where the money would have come from for the twits. I swear I need to rewrite that story. Just make it about Twitter users and check marks.
You would make a lot of money.
It should be a big hit. I read Sneetches on the Beaches when they were threatening to ban it as part of the Seuss Book Club thing. I unprivated that, by the way, if anyone wants to see it. Okay, I'm going to shut things down and then get Sparky his key. Thank you again for providing it, Exodus. And if you do find that game, I'll still laugh it off. Look, I don't look gift horses in the mouth too hard.
Did you see his last comment?
Yes, and that's as much as I'm going to say about it. Until next time, so long as progress continues, success is inevitable. Ostensibly, barring nuclear fire or any other thing that not only ends the progress but sets us way. But bye.